Assalamu alaikum, I'm Dr. Wael Muhammad from Egypt. This video is for my beautiful daughter and all her colleagues in Year 8. I want to solve Cambridge International Checkpoint Mathematics Paper 1 for April 2019 in details, and don't forget that in this paper the calculator is not allowed. Question 1. Work out the value of y. 6 times 3 plus y is equal to 23. Don't forget to multiply first. So we have here 18 plus y is equal to 23. Move 18 to the other side. Move 18 to the other side with negative sign. So we have y is equal to 23 minus 18. So the final answer is y is equal to 5. Question 2. Placing things of a number and multiplies it by 3. In this case, we can say that this number is x. So when the question said multiplies it here also means x. Multiply x by 3. So we get 3x. And then subtract 6. Subtract 6 like this. Okay, her final answer is 15. So the answer is 15. Simply, we will move negative 6 to the other side with positive sign to be 3x is equal to 15 plus 6, which is 21. Divide both sides by 3 to get x equals 7. So the number is 7. Question 3. Gabriella has 3 bottles of water. Each bottle contains 500 milliliters of water. Work out the total quantity of water. Give your answer in liters. It's a piece of cake, of course. We have two methods. We can first say that 500 milliliter means half liter, because this word milli means 1 out of 1000. So 500 milliliter is just half liter. So we have 3 bottles. We have half liter and another half liter. So we have 3 halves, which means 1 and a half, 1.5 liter. Or you can say that we have 3 bottles, each with 500 milliliter. So the product will be 1500 milliliter. And to convert from small quantity to a larger one, we should divide, and since we have milli here, we should divide by 1000. After dividing by 1000, we will get 1.5 liter, which is the same answer, of course. Okay. Question 4. Jamila has a recipe for biscuits. To make 12 biscuits, she needs some of contents like this. Okay. Jamila makes 36 biscuits. Work out how much butter she needs. Okay, 36 is 3 times the original quantity here, 12. 36 divided by 12 is 3. So we need to triple also any of its contents to multiply it by 3 to get its triple. Okay, so we should get 3 times also this content, which is the butter. 125 times 3 is 375. Okay, again, another way, we can say that for 125 gram of butter, we can make 12 biscuits, right? So what is the quantity? Needs to make 36 biscuits. We can make something called cross multiplication, like 36 times 125 divided by 12, or easily you can say that 12 times what equals 36 times 3. So we should multiply 125 gram times 3 also to be 375, which is the same answer. Okay. Question 5. Here is a number fact. 3 over 8 times 2 over 5 is equal to 3 over 20. Use this to work out 3 over 8 times 4 over 5. What a beautiful question. We can say 3 over 8 times, we can split 4 over 5 into 2 over 5 times 2, right? And then we can replace all this product with 3 over 20. So we need to multiply 3 over 20 times 2. After simplifying, over 2, 1 over 2, 10. So the final answer should be 3 out of 10. Question 6. Draw a ring around the two numbers that are exactly divisible by 9. The number which is divisible by 9 has a very important property, which is the sum of its digits. This sum also is divisible by 9. So 3 and 9 is 12. 12 is not divisible by 9. Here 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 over 9, 1. So 54 is also divisible by 9. 96 is not. We will find that 297 is divisible by 9 because 2 plus 7 is 9, 9 plus 9 is 18, 18 can be divided by 9, and so that 297 is also divisible by 9. Question 7. Draw a ring around the function that corresponds to the rule in the box. Multiply by 4, then subtract 2. Of course, it's very clear that this is our function. Multiply by 4 and then subtract 2. 8 work out 12.7 times 0.3. We can remove the decimal and try to multiply 127 times 3 by any way like this. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 3 is 21. You can put 1 here and carry up 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then 3 times 1 is 3. So the answer is 381, but we should divide it by 100, or we can move the decimal 2 places to the left. So the answer should be 3.81. Of course, we have many methods for multiplying, or another method we can say that to multiply 127 times 3, 100 times 3 is 300, and then 20 times 3 is 60, and then 7 times 3 is 21. This is also a beautiful way to get the product. We can add all these units to be 1, all these units to be 8, and here we have 3, and then move the decimal 2 places to the left to be 3.81. Question 9. There are 30 days in November. It rains on 3/5 of them. Work out the number of days when it doesn't rain. What a nice question. It will not rain for 2/5 of the days, which are 30. So we can multiply 2 over 5 times 30. 5 over 5 is 1, 30 over 5 is 6, so 2 times 6 is 12 days. Very interesting question. Question 10. The diagram shows a prism. The cross section can be divided into 3 identical rectangles. Each rectangle measures 7 cm by 4 cm. The prism is 10 cm long. Look at the shape here. We have 3 identical rectangles, which is the cross section of this beautiful prism. The required is to calculate the volume of the prism. We can calculate the volume of just one cuboid and then multiply it by 3 because all these 3 are identical. So the volume of one of them can be calculated as 4 times 7 times 10, 4 times 7 times 10, and finally I will multiply it by 3. It's a very interesting question. 28 times 10 would be 280 times 3. 280 times 3 can be calculated as 200 times 3, which is 600, plus 80 times 3, which is 240. So the answer is 840 centimeter cubed. Question 11. A shop sells 2 different bags of rice. Rice A 500 grams plus 25% extra free. Rice B 750 grams plus 1/5 extra free. Tick to show which bag gives you much free rice. Take care that the word free here is written in bold, so we should focus on it and concentrate well, because the question asks about the free quantity only. We don't need to add the free quantity to the original one. We don't need the original one. We just need in the comparison. We want to compare only the free quantity. So for the first type here for rice A, we can say that 25%, which means 25 over 100 times 500, to get 25 times 5, which is 125 grams. For rice B, we have 750 times 1 over 5, which means 750 divided by 5. We can divide 75 over 5 only. 7 over 5 is 1 times 5 is 5. The remainder is 2. 25 over 5 is 5. And we put 0 again here. So we can put tick on rice B. Also, we can calculate 750 divided by 5 by another way, which is splitting it into two quantities, 500 and 250, or divide by 5. 500 over 5 is easily 100, and 250 over 5 is 50, so the answer is 150 as we see here. Question 12. Maya and Lily are trying to find the nearest whole number to square root of 120. Maya said it's 10, Lily said it's 11. Tick to show who is correct. For square root of 120, we can first put 120 into the nearest perfect squares or complete squares like 100 and 121. If we take square root for all these numbers, we will find that square root of 100 is 10, square root of 120 is like this, and square root of 121 is 11. Okay, and since 120 is very closer to 121, we can say that square root of 120 is very close to 11. So we can say that Lily is more correct. You can say also in the reason here, we can say 120 is closer to 121, so that square root of 120 is closer to 11, to be very clear and obvious. Question 13, write down all the primes between 60 and 70. Okay, we have 61, it's not divisible by any prime numbers, like 2, 3, 5, 62 is even, 63 is divisible by 3, 64 is even, 65 is divisible by 5, 66 is even, 67, okay, 67, and also 68 even, 69 is divisible by 3, and then this is the answer. Okay, we have here 61 and 67. Question 14. Anastasia has 4 coins, A, B, C, and D. One of these coins is a fair coin and the other 3 are biased coins. She throws each coin 200 times and records the number of times she gets ahead. Tick the coin that is most likely to be the fair coin. Okay, how we can think in solving this question? First of all, in throwing a coin, we have only 2 options. We can get ahead or we can get a tail. So the probability of getting ahead is 1 over 2, and also the probability of getting a tail is 1 over 2. So whatever the times that we will throw the coin, the number of heads is half of the total number of throwing. So whatever the number of throws of this coin, the number of getting ahead, if we have a fair coin, is half of this total times. So we will search about the nearest or the closest number 200, which is half of 200. Where is the closest one? Of course, 110. This is the answer. Very nice question. Question 15. Choose either times or divide to make each calculation correct. 14. Okay. If we make times, it should be 2.8. So of course it will be divide. And if you want to think on it again, we can say that 14 divided by can be converted to multiply and get the reciprocal of 2 over 10, which is 10 over 2, which is 5. And of course 14 times 5 is 70. 16 and we have here 1.25. 1.25 can be written as 5 over 4. So 16 and here 5 over 4. Of course it will be multiplying because 16 over 4 is 4 times 5 is 20. So it's times. And here 20, half, of course, also times, because half of 20 is 10. It's very easy. 36, if we make multiply, I should multiply 36 here with 3 over 4. We can say that 36 over 4 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, not 48. So it's of course divide. Divide means that I multiply also, but with 4 over 3. 4 over 3 means 36 over 3 is 12. 12 times 4 is exactly 48. Okay. Question 16. Calculate the size of each exterior angle of a regular 10-sided polygon. It's a piece of cake, of course, because we have this beautiful formula, 360, okay, divided by the number of sides, which is 10, can calculate the size of an exterior angle of a regular polygon within sides. So the answer is 36 degrees. Question 17. Here are the timetables for trains running from Dipside to Flaghaven and from Flaghaven to Hankburg. Okay, if we look at these tables, all these times are available from Monday to Friday, and this part is only for Saturdays. And here's the next timetable. A. Oliver plans to take the 11:06 train from Dipside to Flaghaven next Wednesday, so we are here in this part. Calculate how long his journey will take. 11.6 is here, so we need only to subtract this time minus this time. 13 minus 11 is 2, and 24 minus 6 is 18. So it will take 2 hours and 18 minutes. It's a very easy question. What a nice question. B. To travel from Dipside to Hankburg, passengers must change trains at Flaghaven. Yuri needs to travel from Dipside to Hankburg next Saturday. Okay, he must be at Hankburg before 18:15. Work out the time of the latest train he can take from Dipside. What a nice question. So this is our target time and our destination is Hankburg. So look at the table here. We can't forget this train, of course, because we will reach at 18:30. And we can accept this train because we will reach Hankburg at 15:58 before 18 and 15 minutes. Okay, to catch this train, which train we should take from Dipside? Of course, we need to reach at 15:30. So we can forget this one. We can forget this also because we will reach at 17:40. But this is a suitable one because we will reach Flaghaven at 15 and 10 minutes and then stay for just 20 minutes and catch this train. So the time here is 12 and 36. This is the answer for this interesting question. Question 18. Each of these numbers is written as a product of prime factors. Okay, nice. Use this information to write 539 over 847 as a fraction in its simplest form. We can rewrite 539 as 11 times 7 power 2, and also we can rewrite 847 as 7 times 11 power 2, and then we can simplify. Can cancel this 7 with one of the squares here, and also you can cancel this 11 with one of the squares here. So the final answer should be 7 over 11. It's a very simple question. B. 55 over 539 as a fraction in its simplest form. 55 is simply can be written as 5 times 11 and then divide by 539, which is, again, we can rewrite it as 11 times 7 power 2. We can cancel 11 with 11 and we have here 5 over 49. 5 over 49. Question 19. Rajiv measures the length of 40 birds. Of course, you know this table. This table is called frequency table, but we want to explain its meaning. We have here 13 birds with lengths starting from 16 centimeter to less than 17. Okay, for the second row here, we have only 8 birds with lengths starting from 17 centimeter and less than 18. Of course, if we have a bird with length 17 centimeter, we will count it in the second row here of this 8, not of this 13, because we don't have equal sign here. Okay, the math is very accurate subject, as you know. The third row, who can tell me what the meaning of the third row? We have 12 birds with lengths starting from 18 centimeter and less than 19, and so on. A. Draw a frequency diagram to show these lengths. Okay, the frequency diagram consists of bars and we don't have any gaps between these bars. For the first bar here we have 13. Between 12 and 14 we have 13 here, and the corresponding length is from 16 to 17. This is from 16 to 17, and this is the first bar. Let's complete. This is the frequency diagram. Each bar length represents the corresponding frequency. B. Rajiv says that the median length is in the interval 18 to less than 19. Tick to show Rajiv is correct or not. The question now is how we can get the median group or the median class when we have a frequency table. It's very, very easy. Look at please to the total number of birds, which is 40. This is even number. So we have two medians. We have two medians which have the following order. 40 over 2 is 20. So we will look at the 20th bird and also the 21. So if we look at the first group contains the first 13 birds. If we add the second group, which has 8 birds, so their sum will be 13 plus 8 is 21, right? So the 20th bird is here in the second class, and also the 21 bird is here also. So the median class or the median group is this group, 17. Oh, it's wrong. So it's wrong, okay? Not correct. Give a reason for your answer. You can say that the median is, or we can say it in the group or the class L more than or equal 17 and less than 18 because it contains the 20th and 21 birds. Question 20. Calculate the value of 2 plus 8 bracket 14 minus 5. Of course, according to BidMass, we will calculate bracket first. So 2 plus 8 multiplied by 40 minus 5, which is 35. To do such this product, we have a very tricky and fast way. You can take half of 8, which is 4, and at the same time take double of 35, which is of course 70. This method works here because 8 is even number, so its half is 4, and also 35, its double is multiple of 70. So it's very easy now to write 2 plus 4 times 70, which is 280. And so that the final answer will be 282. Question 21. Chen investigates how people in his town will vote in an election. Here are 3 methods he used to collect data. Tick the correct box to show whether each method collects primary or secondary data. Ask the parents of his friends. When he asks the parents, he will collect the data by himself. So it will be primary, of course, but look for survey results on the internet. Using the internet means that he will use another information from from one else. So we put right, of course, here. It will be secondary, not directly from him. Go to the library, of course, also library will be secondary data. Question 22, work out the missing amount in this statement. We have here an equation, 20% of 30. Let's calculate the left hand side, 20 over 100 multiplied by 30. So we can cancel these zeros with these zeros. So it will be 2 times 3, which is 6. For the right hand side, 40 over 100 times what equals 6 also. We can call it x equals 6 and form an equation and try to solve for x. We can simplify this fraction. We can divide by 0 here and 0 here. 4 over 2 it will be 2. 10 over 2 it will be 5. And then x will be 6 times 5 over 2. 6 times 5 over 2. 6 over 2 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. So the missing amount here is 15. Or in another method, we can think as following. Since the left hand side is 20% of $30, now we double the percentage. When we double the percentage, we must take half of the amount, which is $15. Question 23, here is a list of numbers. Find the largest positive number that can be made when two numbers from this list are multiplied together. It's a very nice question. When you multiply 6 times 3, you will get 18. But if we multiply the negative 7 and negative 5 together, we will get what? We'll get positive 35, which is the largest positive number, of course. Positive 35. Be subtracted from each other. If we have a number line, I will take the 6 because it's on the right, and we will take negative 7 because it will be on the left of these numbers. And if we make 6 minus 7, we will get the largest distance, which is the largest positive number, of course. It will be 13. It's a very nice question also. 24. These two lines are the same length. All measurements are in centimeters. A. Write down an equation to show that the two lines are the same length. Okay, we have here x minus 1 repeated for 5 times. So we can write it as 5 multiplied by x minus 1, which is equal to x plus 8, but it's repeated just twice. So we can write here 2 multiplied by x plus 8. This is the required equation. B. Work out the length of one line. To get the length of any of these lines, we should first get the value of x. So let's solve this equation. Let's expand the bracket. 5x minus 5 times 1, 5 is equal to 2 times x, which is 2x, and then plus 16. Collect x together, we have here 5x minus 2x, and here collect the numbers together, we have here 16 plus 5, so it will be 3x is equal to 21 divided by 3. We can get x equals 7. This is not the answer, this is the value of x. Let's calculate any of these two sides. If we put x here with 7, 7 plus 8 is 15, 15 times 2 is 30 centimeters. Question 25, AB is a line segment, M is the midpoint of AB, A is the point 7 and 2, M is the point 5 and 6. Work out the coordinates of point B. What a nice question. So we have here the midpoint, it's already given. Let B, x and y. Okay, how we can get the midpoint between A and B? We should make the following: 7 plus x all over 2 and 2 plus y all over 2, like this. This should be equal to what? Equal to the coordinates of the point M, which is already given, 5 and 6. So we can equate each coordinate to the corresponding one. 7 plus x over 2 is equal to 5, or we can write as 10. If you multiply 5 times 2, right? So x should be what? X should be 10 minus 7, which is 3. And also we can find the corresponding value of y. 2 plus y all divided by 2 is equal to 6, or 2 plus y is equal to 12 if we multiply by 2. So y should be 12 minus 2, which is 10. So the coordinates of point B should be 3 and 10. Question 26. The diagram shows a first 6-sided spinner. Each section is numbered. The numbers on 4 of the sections are shown. 1, 2, 4, 6, and we have here 2 missing sections. Ahmed spins the spinner twice. Okay, twice. And the scores are added. The sample space diagram shows some of the total scores. Calculate the probability that the total score is 10 or more. Of course, we should fill the missing squares first. Okay, before filling the squares, let's illustrate the meaning of this 2. This 2 means that the result of the first spin, which is shown here in the first row, is 1, and the result of the second spin is also 1, and to add them together to be 2, because the experiment shows the sum of the two scores. Also, this 3 means the first spin gets 2 and the second one is 1, and so that the sum is 3, and so on. Okay, how we can get the rest of the squares here? Look at this 12, please. This 12 means that we have 6 here, and what should be put here? Of course 6, because 6 plus 6 is 12. Also, this 10 can tell us what should this number be. 10 is the sum of 4 and what? And 6. Okay, we are correct, of course, because 6, 6 here and 6, 6 here. What about this number? This number is 14, so it should be 8, of course. This should be 8, and also this should be 8. I will fill the rest of the squares now, okay? Now I fill all the squares. The question said the probability to get 10 or more. I prefer to look at these row by row, okay? For the first row, we don't have any number reach 10, but here we have just 1, and we have here 3, 10, 10, 12. For this row we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and have here 1, 2, 3, 4 also, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we add them together, we have 1 and 3, 4, 4 and 1 and 4, 12, 12 and 5, 17. So we have 17 out of what? Out of all the number of the sample space results, which are 36. Why 36? Because we have 6 results here and 6 results here. 6 times 6 is 36. So the final answer should be 17 out of 36. 27. Write each of these lines in the correct position in the table. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. The first one has been written for you. Okay, you want to classify them according to their gradients. The first column will list the positive gradient, the second one for zero gradient, and the last one for the negative gradient. Okay, before solving this question, I want to remind you that to get the gradient of a line from its equation, we must put this equation in the form y equals mx plus c. You must make y subject, which means that the coefficient of y should be 1, y should be only in the left-hand side, and all the rest of the equation on the right-hand side. And in this case, the coefficient of x will be the gradient of the line, okay? And c is called y-intercept. And so the coefficient of x again is the gradient. So the gradient of the first line, I can put here, make a column like this, and I will put the gradient here, okay, which is m. For the first one, it's 4. For the second one, it's 0, of course. We don't have x. For the third one, it's -6. For the fourth one, here is the problem. Many of students will tell me the gradient is 1. No, please. You must put it in the standard format first. So you must move x to the other side with negative sign. Y should be -x plus 11, which is m here, -1, of course. And finally, the gradient is 3. So according to these signs, let's complete the table here. The 0 gradient, which is the second line here, y equals -1, and then we can write y equals -6x here, y equals -6x here, and also x plus y equals 11 is here also, and finally y equals 3x minus 5 is here, y equals 3x minus 5. Question 28, the diagram shows an isosceles triangle ABE and a quadrilateral BC DE. AD is a straight line. AD is a straight line. Okay, when you see the sentence, don't forget that the sum of this angle and this angle is 180, straight angle, of course. A, calculate the value of P and the value of Q. Look at this triangle, please. ABE is an isosceles. Where are the two equal legs? This one and this one. So I prefer to call this a base. And these are the two legs. This angle, which is A, is also 62. Don't fall in the mistake that P is also 62. No, please. This is the base, okay? And these are the two equal legs, which means these are the two equal angles. 62 here and 62 here. So how we can get P? P easily will be 180 minus the sum of these two angles, right? So for P, we can say 180 minus 62 and 62, 60 and 60, 120. So 124, okay, put 6 on it to be 130 and then 50. So it will be 56. P is 56 degrees. What about the value of Q? Q is in the quadrilateral here. We have this angle is 90. This is 132. How we can get this angle? To get the measure of this angle, we can say 180 minus 62. This is 180 minus 62. It will be 8, and here we have 11. So the value of Q should be what? The value of Q should be 360 because the sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360. Minus, and then put the sum of all these angles, which are 90 plus 118 plus 132. Okay, the sum of 118 and 132 will be 18 plus 32, 50. So it will be 250. And we have 90 here, so it will be 360 minus 340. So it will be 20 degrees. The value of Q is 20 degrees. B, Hassan says that the quadrilateral BCDE is a kite. Tick to show if Hassan is correct or not correct. The kite is one of the most important and beautiful quadrilateral shapes, but it needs an axis of symmetry. Do you know the kite needs an axis of symmetry, right? Like this. Do we have any axis of symmetry here? Of course no. So Hassan is not correct, and the reason is we don't have an axis of symmetry here. So this is the reason. 29, here are two elevations of a triangular prism. This is the side elevation and this is the front elevation, which means that if you look at the prism from the front, you will find this beautiful rectangle with dimensions 1, 2, 3 by 2. Okay, and if you look at it from its side, you will find that you have a right angle triangle with 1, 2, 3, of course, because this side should be as the same as this side, and you have here 1, 2, 3, 4. This means that we catch this triangle and turn it to 90 degrees like this to be here, to be here, to be the side view, and this is the front view. And the required now is to draw a plan view of the prism. A plan view means we want to look at it from top. Okay, the prism will be something like this. If we look at it from here, we have an inclined face. The required from us is to raise this face up to be plane, to be in plane. So we should draw a rectangle, of course, also. It will be a rectangle with the sides 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but from the top here, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2 here, which is this side. 1, 2, like this. 1, 2. This is the required plan view, okay? Of course, you will draw it with using a ruler, of course, okay? B, this is a part of an isometric drawing. It means we want to draw it as a 3D shape, okay? We can use this side, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I should draw here 2 also, and here the same. This is 2 also, and this is 3. This is 2 also here, okay? This is the base of the prism. This is the base of the prism, and then finally we can draw these 2 points here and also these 2 points to draw the 3D shape of the prism. Okay, the last question 30, work out the fraction that is halfway between 1/3 and 1/2. First I will add them and then divide the answer over 2. So I want to add 1/3 plus 1/2. Also, I want to convert this mixed fraction to improper fraction by multiplying 2 times 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3/2. So 1/3 plus 3/2. We can't add except if we have the same denominator, right? I will make this denominator 6 and also this denominator is 6. To make this 6, I should multiply 3 times 2 and then 1 times 2 is 2. And to make this denominator 6, I should multiply 2 times 3, and so that I must multiply 3 also times 3, which is 9. So the final answer is 11/6. Now I want to get half of 11/6, which means 11/12. This is the final answer. Okay, see you in the next paper inshallah, and if you have any question you can write in the comments. Assalamu alaikum.